Hey everyone, a little project today. Today I need to lift this camper to pull these tires off. So I have something that should help. I'm going to tackle changing these tires myself. I'm actually not changing the tires. I need to pull them off, do a little maintenance, grease up the bearings and everything in the hubs. And I'm actually changing them out to install some new valve stems. So I need to take them down to a tire shop. They have just the rubber stems on them now. I have some cap style TPMS sensors that I need to put on. So I need to put some steel valve stems in. They kind of look like this. So I need to pull those tires off. I'd like to do 2 at a time. Each side, and it's always a struggle when you have a big long camper like mine, trying to get it jacked up correctly and trying to get that weight off those tires. So I have something here today I want to go through with you guys, something I purchased recently that should make it a lot easier. I found a product online when I was searching for an easier solution. If you've ever jacked up a trailer before, whether it be a camper or just a utility trailer, it's always kind of difficult to find a good jacking point. And they really don't want you to put a jack, especially like a bottle jack, directly on the bottom of the axle tubes, just because it applies so much concentrated pressure in one little spot on those. So when researching, I found this company called Bottle Jack Buddy, and they actually make a product that sits on the top of these jacks and acts as like a cradle to kind of cradle the top of the jack and puts that pressure evenly against those axle tubes. So that's what we're going to try out today, and I think it'll work pretty well. I just wanted to show you guys what they look like. This one I already had open. See if I can pull this out. It comes pretty well packaged in here so they don't get damaged in shipping. So well, it's hard to get out. But it is a piece of 1/4-inch steel with really nice welds, real nice finish on it, that has an indentation in here for the top of your bottle jack. So obviously with that indentation, that keeps that cradle in place so it can't slide left or right. But then on the top here, it cradles the axle tubes themselves real tightly, but it also gives all that weight kind of a distribution across this whole edge instead of just being concentrated in one flat spot on the bottom of the tubes. So very easy to use. You can see here I have a couple of Harbor Freight jacks. They work great with these. I think they recommend having an 1.5 inch lifting pad that'll fit in here, so the 12 tons work really good. So you do have to make sure that you have it fit inside the jack pad correctly. So you can see here, this is how they come, and all these jacks do twist up a little bit. So you want to make sure that you twist it up just high enough that it's resting, and you'll see it on the bottom there, and you'll feel it too. I could probably put this one down just a little bit more, but it is resting pretty solid on there, and it's not sitting on top of this ring right here. That's what you want to kind of make sure, because then you know that it's making good contact with the top of the jack as well as the bottom of this plate. So these guys should be pretty cool to use today. Again, I'm going to actually jack it up with the actual axles themselves, try to get as close as I can to each side, but I'd like to put 2 of them on there, get one side of the camper up at a time so I can take 2 tires down to the tire shop all at once. And then we'll just kind of rotate, put those tires back on when they're ready, and then do the other side. I'm just going to show you one side today though, just kind of show you how these things work, because I'm very curious, you know, how well it'll jack it and stabilize the camper. So let's get started. I already have the jack positioned underneath the axle here, and as you can see, I got it as close as I could to these U-bolts here. I can't really go over those.
it wouldn't jack up right, and I'm trying to keep it to the outside edge as close as possible. So I think I have it in a good spot here. I can't really put it here. That'd be too close to the tire. You can see it would probably hit the jack base. It'd just be a kind of a pain. So I got it where I need it to be, and I'm just gonna kind of jack these up kind of slowly. They work great with the 12 ton. These are the taller jacks. They do make a shorter jack, but I went with the taller ones to start with. Just gives you more height to begin with, and I think these will work out well. They clear fine, so we're going to jack it up slow and see how it goes. So as I said, I'm just going to jack these up kind of slowly here, and I may have to reposition the jack a little bit, kind of play around with these cradles. Like I said, I'm trying to get them as close to these U-bolts as possible, and it's just, they move just a little bit. The cradle does as you jack it up. You can see it twisting a little bit, but once I get some pressure on it, I'll be able to get it in a good spot. So just kind of going slowly at a time, uh, repositioning the jack, trying to keep it straight. And you can kind of tell once you get pressure on it, I imagine that the jack is in a good spot as far as straight up and down, because you really don't want it kind of twisted or anything to the side. I'm kind of just watching the bottom of that jack pad there, um, just making sure that I'm getting that twisted correctly and kind of centering it on that axle at the same time. But they do fit these pretty well. These are made for 3-inch axles. That's what this trailer has, and a lot of utility trailers would have. And that's a heavy trailer. I mean, this trailer weighs about 10,000 pounds dry. I think 11.5 loaded up. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get this as stable as possible here. Again, this is kind of just showing you how straight and flat and flush that is on the bottom of that pad, and on the bottom of the base there on the concrete it's flush too. So I know I'm not at an angle at all. So these are really good position, and because there's U-bolts too, the jack can't really move at least to the right for sure because those U-bolts are stopping it. So I'm just going to keep going slow here and going to work back and forth between the front jack here, and then I'll kind of go over to the back jack here and put some pressure on that too. I can kind of hear the tires break loose a little bit. You can hear the rubber slide just a little bit there on the concrete, so I know it was pretty good. Here's the back jack, and again, I'm just gonna put some slight pressure on here, just trying to keep them both evenly as I go up. And just got a little bit more here. Get this one up off the ground, and I think I'm good. Let's see if I can spin this tire at all here. Yeah, it's dragging just a little bit, but I think I'm going to go back to the front one, get it up just a little bit higher, and then I'll come back to this one if I need to. But so far, these things are working out really good. Real even pressure. I mean, bottle jacks are the best for campers, honestly, or any trailer of any sorts. But I'm gonna walk around the front here and take a look at this tongue jack because I took some weight off the side sideways, and I do have this kind of reinforced a little bit. I have another bottle jack right here with a board going across the tongue just for some extra support if anything slides or moves. I have some pressure on that. Just extra safety precaution, really. Sometimes these feet can kick to the side depending on how much tongue weight you have, and just the direction of the weight. But this is a pretty heavy trailer. It's about 1,800-pound tongue weight, so that's solid. Not too worried about that. So I think I'm good, but just something to kind of keep in mind as you're jacking it up, because you don't want that front tongue sliding anywhere. But so far it's looking pretty good.
Well, I found a really good spot for the 3-ton jacks. And they do have a little curve on their pads underneath there, so they fit those axles real nice as well. So what I ended up doing is jacking it up just a slightly higher, and that allowed me to get another click on that jack, and then I set it back down ever so slightly. It's really not resting any weight on those jack stands. The weight's still on the jacks themselves. It's just if they release any pressure over the next day or so, because it's going to take a couple days to get these tires over the tire shop, it'll kind of support that weight if we need them. Brand new jacks, I don't think I'll have a problem, but just to be safe, I put those jack stands in a good spot. I did use the bigger ones too, the 12 tons. Let me show you where I got those at. And I put those kind of resting or as close as I could to the bottom of the frame there, so that, if something else were to fail, that would catch and it would be on the frame itself, no issues. I'll kind of show you where I got the back one up here too. So I got the back one, if you can kind of see, pretty close to the frame as well on the back of the tires.
Now all I got to do is get these tires off, and I've been wanting to try this for a while with my smaller impact here. These are torqued about 100 foot-pounds, and I'm just going to use a smaller torque gun. It's a 1/4 inch, just hex. Not really made for this kind of stuff. It's really made for putting screws and bolts, or like lag screws, things like that in. But got my adapter here, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these lug nuts off and see if it'll do it. I'm not sure. I do have bigger impact as well, but I figured out something different to try. So we'll get these on here and see how hard it is for this little guy to pull these lug nuts off. Like I said, they should be torqued to 100, but we'll see how easy it is here and see how long it takes to get these off. Well, that first one came off real quick, so that wasn't an issue at all. Surprised how powerful these little things are now these days. And this is just a 12-volt gun too, so it's amazing. But yeah, it's buzzing these things right off, no problem at all. Definitely wouldn't want to use these on my bigger truck lug nuts. I don't think it would pull them off because I can kind of tell that, at 100, it takes a second, but um, I know it has its limitations. But I just figured it'd be neat to try it, and it worked out pretty easily for for this. I'm very surprised. So pretty cool stuff that some of these companies have out there now. But I like it, and it worked great for this tire. So we'll go ahead and pull this tire off, and we'll get the next one off as well. So get this thing off of here, kind of wheeled out of the road a little bit. And then we'll work on this other one, but I don't expect to have any problems with it either. We're gonna go ahead and speed this up, but the second tire came off just as easy as the first one, no problems at all.
Well, that wraps this video up. One thing before we go though that I thought of when I was underneath there, I'm on concrete here, so it's real easy to get those jacks on a nice flat surface, real hard surface. But I thought, well, maybe I could throw a board under there, underneath the jack, and still have room if I needed to, in a pinch, like if I'm on the side of the road changing a tire, things like that. Well, when I opened up the box, I forgot that this was in there. But Bottle Jack Buddy also makes a knee pad, they call it. It says it's a stabilizing pad to help your Bottle Jack Buddy get the job done. So I'm assuming something like this would work out great if you're on the side of the road. Maybe you're in some dirt, something like that, and you need something solid for that jack to sit on. It looks like this is a product that is coming soon or may already be out there. But if you're interested in the saddles, the Bottle Jack Buddies themselves, go ahead and go out to the website and get yourself some. I'll leave the link below in my description. He sells on Amazon and also on his own website. If you buy 2 from his own website, he'll send you a free t-shirt as well. So great company, seems to be USA made. So far it's going to meet my needs. Great. So I don't mind supporting local companies. So again, I appreciate everybody's time, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.